Guys, this is never going to end because Dre is facing a 10 million lawsuit that has come out of nowhere. J-Lo is talking about intense pain that she was going through. I don't even understand what that's about. And Diddy, new fresh legal documents have dropped again. And the angle that he's coming from, he's coming for Homeland Security and accusing them of leaks. Hey guys, it's Murad Murali. Hopefully you guys are all doing well today. Back again with another video. If you have not subscribed, please do. It is daily and consistent content. And let's get into this and not waste any time. So look at these fresh documents. Defendant Sean Combs moves for 4 forms of relief related to what the defense believes was a series of unlawful government leaks, which have led to damaging, highly prejudicial pre-trial publicity that can only taint the jury pool and deprive P. Diddy of his right to a fair trial. So he's looking for a mistrial or, to throw things out on a technical basis from what I'm reading. P. Diddy requests an evidentiary hearing to examine government misconduct in connection with the leaks, discovery of emails, documents, and records in the possession of the government, including DHS, Department of Homeland Security, related to these leaks, a gag order prohibiting government personnel from disclosing any evidence or investigative material related to this case to any member of the media, and suppression of any evidence leaked by government employees in violation of Federal Rule of Criminal Procedure 6E or any other law, rule, or regulation. The available evidence makes a prime facie showing that the government, primarily through DHS, has engaged in a 7-month campaign, with 3 objects: preventing Diddy from getting a fair consideration, preventing him from getting a fair trial, and leaking confidential grand jury material and information, including the 2016 Intercontinental videotape where Diddy was dragging Cassie in the hotel in order to prejudice the public and potential jurors against Diddy. Wow, what a crafty rat. He's basically stating that they leaked that video of him dragging Cassie in the hotel so that the jury can have a bias against him. How about you be responsible for your own actions of abuse? The government's scheme to undermine Diddy's right to a fair proceeding has several methods and means. First, there have been a steady stream of false and prejudicial statements made by DHS agents to various press outlets over the last 7 months. Second, the agent engaged in a particularly brutal and public search of Diddy's homes, during which they handcuffed Diddy's innocent sons and then marched them before a news helicopter in the press. This was an apparent effort to convey that they had overwhelming evidence against Diddy, justifying the public and brutal treatment of even his children, who were handcuffed and manhandled by federal agents and with assault rifles. Third, government employees have repeatedly leaked grand jury information and materials to the press to raise public hostility against Combs in advance of the trial. The most egregious example of this is the leak to CNN of the 2016 videotape of Cassie and him. As details below, the CNN leak was but one of a long and documented history of leaks and false statements made with one purpose: to savage Diddy's reputation prior to the trial. Whilst the government's misconduct in this case is particularly egregious, it is unfortunately part of a trend in this district. The government has learned that it can strategically leak information with impunity. This is insane. This court should exercise its authority to prohibit these underhanded tactics which severely undermine a criminal defendant's right to a fair trial. At the outset, the defense wants to be clear with the court as to what our theory is and not. We do not contend that the leaks were orchestrated by the U.S. Attorney's Office. Rather, we contend that the false media statements and the grand jury leaks complained of below were planned and executed by the DHS. As the parties develop more information in this regard, the court will see that the defense repeatedly contacted the prosecutors and stated, in substance, that the agents were leaking information in the press. Yet, regardless of what, if any, action the U.S. Attorney's Office took, the leaks continued, even after his arrest. The reason a hearing is needed is to determine exactly what the DHS did, I'm screaming, and did not do regarding to these leaks, and what the U.S. Attorney's Office did and did not do to stop them. Insanity, the way he's flipping the table. The evidence of government misconduct is clear enough already that this court is justified in using its authority to craft appropriate remedies. Diddy's request that this court orders discovery and an evidentiary hearing to investigate the government's misconduct. Wow, the abuse here is clear, but without a hearing, it will remain unknown for those who where the abuse is reached. I'm laughing. This gaslighting. An evidentiary hearing is thus necessary. In addition, if the hearing demonstrates that the violation of grand jury secrecy was intentional, as we expect it will, the court should order the suppression of the videotape and any other illegality disclosed evidence, as well as other potential sanctions. I told you guys this as I was reading this. Okay, Lawyer Murad, because I predicted this. He's trying to get things thrown out on a technicality basis, basically saying that if they've been found guilty of leaking stuff to change the narrative against Diddy, all of that should be thrown out and can't be used in court against him, because it's basically sheer proof of everything that basically he's going through. Insanity, guys. Insanity, insanity. On May 17, 2024, a CNN correspondent contacted a member of Diddy's team to seek comment on a video they intended to publish in a few hours. The correspondent indicated that CNN came across the video and currently have in our possession surveillance footage from, in LA. At 10:23 ET, I emailed the prosecutors assigned to this case and stated, amongst other things, that we received word that CNN has been given a tape. For my concern is that someone or any of you, not the lead case agent, provided this footage to CNN. I bring this to your attention solely because I imagine you don't want this to happen any more than I do. At 6:37, an assistant United States attorney assigned to this case responded that we really appreciate you giving us a heads up. We have now seen the video. If we need to connect on anything, let us know. Somebody said, this is interesting because I always thought the hotel leaked it, but then I found out the hotel was not there anymore. It came out after the raids, and I doubt an old hotel worker leaked it because it was 8 years old, so they would have been leaked it. So this is an intriguing way for this man to try and argue. He's basically flipped the entire script, or attempting to do so, and he's basically mad that video came to light. He wants to control the narrative. This is what these abusers do. They really show you who they really are, and they're trying to control the narrative, accusing the Department of Homeland Security of creating false media statements and illegal grand jury leaks is a very bold strategy. But guess what, guys? It can pay off. It can be flipped that way, which is what his lawyers are arguing. It's unlikely, but it definitely can play off. They're grasping at straws, and he's mad that he does not have any control over this conversation. So, okay, Homeland Security, for argument's sake, maybe have leaked this because they were in conversation with CNN. What could that mean? That could mean he's playing that game of this needs to be thrown out and can't be used in court, and therefore I win big time, and this can't be used in court and there's less evidence against me, is basically what he is saying. Lord have mercy. Now we're going to get into this major lawsuit by Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre, I don't even know where to begin, guys. Let me just take a breather, please, because I just feel like this is just so much information that we are listening to. At this point, just arrest everybody from this damn era. Dr. Dre divorced his wife, Nicole Young, in 2021, and the divorce process was lengthy, and the producer would up settling for a staggering $100 million. Several years have passed since the divorce, but it seems as though Dre may have to pay even more, as Dr. Charles Sophie, a divorce counselor who worked with Dre and Young, alleges that he suffered harassment at the hands of Dr. Dre. He claims that he was subjected to an ongoing barrage of threats and is suing Dr. Dre for $10 million, and Billboard broke the news. Dr. Sophie, alleged that Dre saw him as a punching bag during the divorce process. Rather than treating the mediation process as an opportunity for healing, Dre decided to take his frustrations out the mediation on Dr. Sophie. The counselor claimed that the harassment lasted over a year and included threats of physical violence, his frustration that manifested themselves in the form of a nearly long sustained campaign. I'm not surprised, guys. She faced late night texts, threats of intimidation and violence, and homophobic rhetoric. Now, I'm not surprised. We know that Dre has been accused of so much violence in the past. How this man is still standing, how this man has been applauded in the industry, I honestly don't understand. Maybe one of you guys can clear up for me, where other abusers eventually get held for account, Weinstein, Diddy, etc., but Dre is celebrated and applauded when he's had an insanity historical track record of violent allegations against his name. So this 10 million lawsuit, I'm not surprised by. I definitely feel like I believe Dr. Sophie, and hopefully she can go on compensation. Now Ray J's back. I don't know why, but maybe one day we'll find out. And Ray J went off on the Diddy saga during his first episode of his new show, The Reality Check. After doing so, he basically was saying, who else is going down? Diddy was my friend. What do you do when you never seen all that shit that people are talking about? Do you believe it? Everybody's innocent until proven guilty, Ray asked during the show. Do you forgive somebody for taking somebody's ass? There's a lot of people out there taking from people. People are getting robbed, not only for their money, but their spirituality. They're getting robbed. Asses have been taken. What do we do? Who's going to go down? Who are these celebrities? He keeps saying. So I don't know. I feel like Ray J is just Ray J. Like he's just going to talk. So I feel like he knew a lot of stuff going on, because there's video calls of him doing the dirty work for Jay-Z and Diddy, and we'll just leave it at that. I just feel like this is just some nonsense. J-Lo talking about pain that she's going through. I don't know what that pain is, probably because of a divorce or something, but I feel like her PR is working for her in that favor. But it's intriguing to me about the pain that she's going through, and I do wonder what she thinks about the Diddy stuff, but I wanted to just add that to this video. Do subscribe to the channel, comment down below, and give this video a thumbs up. We're working in overtime, guys, and we're not even done, because tomorrow is the hearing at 2 p.m. So that is when all the legal documents I was expecting to go through. I didn't expect all of these legal documents to be dropped today, but clearly his team of lawyers are trying to work overtime. Let me know what your thoughts are. Comment down below, subscribe, send a super thanks if you guys wish to. There's a $sign there. You can send whatever you want. I do honestly want to go live, but I'm exhausted, I'm tired, and there's just way too much going on. Subscribe, and I'll catch you guys soon, and hopefully I'll go live tomorrow.